So, got a Twosun. Not much of a spinner. It's heavy. Yeah, there's some substance in here. It's either substance or two knives. But it's one big one. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for this one. So, you know how it goes. Every now and then, man, you see one and you go, visually, that's hitting it for me. And this was one of them. You already know the TS number because it's up on the video. I, however, do not. I wonder if it's in here. Let's see. It is. Just so we're on the same page. This is a Ts485 Wong design 14C28N with a ton of stonewash titanium. Kind of oily, so rather than get my new tape oily, let's go ahead and clean it up. Man, look at this blade. And the contouring on these scales. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting to like this piece. We'll see. Ts485. Liner lock. Wonderful action. Let's see how we open. Got some decent jimping here. Oh, like butter. Yeah, pretty smooth, man. What about Spidey flick? Yep. Thumb flick on that fuller. I wonder if I can fail it. Let's try. Nah. It's got a great detent. It's got some micro milling right here in this area. Otherwise, everything, it's reliefed and skeletonized on the outside versus the inside, which honestly I kind of like because it definitely contributes to the overall grip on this piece. Jimping on the spine. I mean, this is a large knife too, by the way. This is not a small knife. This is a large knife. Wow. I mean, I could tell you already that if they made this knife at, say, 70%, I could not resist it. I would have to go after it. I'm not sure that I can resist this one. Let's go ahead and take it apart. We're going to disassemble, and we'll completely check it in. I don't believe I'm going to mess with the detent, the tuning, anything on it, because it's running really well. The pocket clip seems to be wedged in there pretty good, so I think I'll leave it be if I can. Yeah, there's these barrel nuts, spacers. They're not spacers, but like a barrel nut. They are holding on. Yeah, it's the pocket clip one. Well, I bought them. Let's use them. These little super tough pry bars from Harbor Freight. And I think they were in the automotive section for like removing panels, you know, the little push pin deals. And I featured them in another video. Really inexpensive. And there's 4 of them. just to recap. Yeah, I'm missing one, but here's these three, and they're really rigid. I have a bunch for, like, I don't know, disassembling cell phones, but they're too flimsy for this work. Yeah, they're way too flimsy. Okay, well, I gotta get this pocket clip off of here. Got a little distraction going on. I'm probably gonna have to break this segment and come back to this. But, ooh, that thing does not want to come out of there. Let me see if I can. May have to put a screw in it and try to tap it. Let's try that. I've got another new tool here that this will allow me to show it off. Got me a little hammer. Ah, there it goes. It's moving. But that pocket clip is not moving. Ooh. See if I can get it to go a little further. Yep. It's a little looser there, so maybe. Yeah, I can't do any more there or I'll hurt the threads. Might have to put something in there. Tap that out, because that is holding on, man. Let me try to tap them out. I should be able to pivot this one now that I got that one out, and that should help. Let's get rid of this before there's some kind of accident. Need a bandage for another reason. There's that one. Whew. Come on. Okay. Well, we'll clean it up and get it put back together. Okay, let's get this cleaned up. Had to take a little break there. Towel work. That's what it looks like to me. Man, there is some cool milling on the inside of this thing. And I'm going to stick it up here in the camera so you can get a look at it like I can see it. Look at this. Kind of topographical, right? So they're skeletonizing on the outside, but then there's a ton of it on the inside. They weight reduced this knife, I mean, maybe as much as they possibly could. You know what I mean? And I love this stonewash. I have a fetish for that black stonewash. Love it. This action on this liner insert is wonderful. So I will be respecting its tuning and leaving it be. Nice titanium backspacer. It's got the same old school black wash, stone wash finish on it. Just going to clean up these small parts right now, and we should be good to go. Throw it back together. Nice big fat washers, racetrack washers. Keep the bearings lined out. They're polished in these grooves. And the action on this was already phenomenal. It was wonderful. So with a little bit of lighter lube, I mean, I may not be able to notice the difference on this at all. But we're about to find out. Just a little bit of wiping on the blade and get it back together. And I'm a fan of 14C. I like 14C. I can tell you that compared to, we're ready for reassembly. So I'm going to go for it. I like this look. They could have made this without the machining for the torque bit, but what you gonna do? These barrel nuts in there. There we go. Compared to some of the knives that have come recently that have the YJ steel on it, the proprietary Twosun steel, I mean, already, I'm checking this knife out and thinking, man, you could have definitely put that steel on this knife. Look at this big fat stop pin. Look at the size of that thing. It is a beast. I like them big stop pins. Big is better when it comes to stop pins, in my opinion. Put a little bit on that track for that detent ball. There we go. That last washer on there. And we good. Are we clear? All T8 hardware. Man, what a nice knife. Like I say, it wouldn't have hurt my feelings one little bit to pay a little more for this knife and put it in the YJ steel. Oh, this thing. I mean, wow. Put our tools up. Drop shut action. Locked up solid. Let's check it when it's not locked. Yeah, I mean, blade is centered. I'm pretty sure, I mean, my name for this knife already is the Terminator. This thing is bad to the bone, man. Let's talk about the action. We'll finish checking this thing in. Let's get through the standard stuff. So the action on this thing. The scale here is lowered a little bit. Then it's scalloped on the inside, and then there's jimping on the liner lock. Very easy pressure to get that unlocked. Thumb flick. Spidey flick. I mean, boy, I don't do this very often, but I mean, I can tell you right now, it's already an A. It's just, am I willing to give this a A plus action? You know, and of course, my rule for that is to when I get this good of action, I don't think that it's an A. The process that I go through, I try to think, how could I make it better? A plus. A plus action. There it is. I mean, you want to know whether you should get this one and you appreciate good action? I mean, not that what I say, listen to that. Not that what I say is law, but if you're down on my opinions at all, this Ts485, it's got A plus action. Wow, is it good? I mean, it is so good. Ergonomics. I mean, again, I usually don't grade ergonomics on a ABCD scale type thing. It's just, do I like it or don't I like it? Well, there's not so confident, confident, and very confident. I mean, this is a very confident grip. I am locked in Hinderesque fashion. Very aggressive jimping. It's not quite combat jimping, but it's very aggressive. If I dig my thumb in there, I'm locked in. And then this whole contouring for the fingers, these last two in here, the way that this all profiles up in the hand, you know, very confident grip. The reverse grip, I can cap it with my thumb. Again, I am incredibly locked in. And yeah, I could even Pakal grip this if I wanted. I could go here and stab down with this knife more comfortably. I don't like stabbing down like this with the knife in this configuration. I've talked about it, many times, but I'm not comfortable with this. But I could absolutely comfortably grip this knife right here and do stab down work to drill or poke or whatever my intentions were. I can cap it, I can power grip it. I mean, the ergonomics on this knife are outstanding, wonderful. And all that skeletonizing on the outside give it a combat feel to this knife. I mean, this is a tool, man. The pocket clip on the thick stuff runs deep. It does reveal a large knife. It's a large pocket clip with a large profile sticking out. The tension could be better, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put tension on it right now. I'm not even sure if it's touching. It's barely touching, but I'm gonna fix that right now. Okay, so I was able to very carefully pry that clip off, and it's got a detent ball that helps fixate it in place, but it is recessed really deeply into the titanium. So I don't have any concerns about this pocket clip. Now, obviously, like most things, or all pocket clips, you don't want that screw to come loose because, if that screw's loose, then that clip can wobble around in there. So it's important to check the hardware on a knife occasionally. Maybe just plan on doing regular cleanings, especially if this knife is going to be anything like it would be for me, this knife would be backup self-defense. This would be utilitarian in that sense for me. I don't know why I run that action, probably because it's so nice. Let's check that pocket clip again. I put a lot of tension on it because it needed tension in the thick stuff. It's definitely going to need it in the standard jean size material. Yeah, it's got a ton of tension on it now, and even in the thin stuff. Yeah. My spot in the back, I mean, I could carry that back there. It is a big knife, though. I want to do a quick... So let's do safety real quick. Let's finish our check-in. So I can touch that blade all day long through the back right here. If I just put my finger down, I'm on the back edge of the blade. I am touching this part of the blade right here. And my guess is that's sharp as a razor blade. It feels like it. We'll check it when we check the sharpness of the edge. But yeah, I've got blade contact from about there to there on this knife. But this part right here in the very back, as soon as my finger touches down, it touches that blade. Let's look for the tip. So I can't get the tip. So the clip's good, the tip's good, but I do have blade contact here, and so I would not be confident to just throw this in my pocket or mishandle this knife in any way because the blade is exposed. I have the potential, me personally, maybe you got bigger fingers, or maybe the version that you get of this knife doesn't have blade contact, but me personally, right now with this knife closed, if I mishandle this knife, there's a potential that I could slice myself open. Yep. Yeah, bummer, man. I mean, it's such a simple thing. I'll be honest, I'm not sure why we continue to manufacture and send out knives that have blade contact when the knife's closed. There shouldn't be any way to touch the blade on this knife or any pocket knife, in my opinion, when it's closed. That's what the scales are a handle and all that. But anyways, I'm not going to rant about it. Would this knife still go in my pocket? Yeah, it would. But I can tell you on this knife, that blade is way at the surface. I mean, it's just like right as soon as I press my finger down, I touch those scales, I'm touching that blade. Yeah, unfortunate. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to compare this to my pocket check knife, which is, of course, it's my Bravo 1, my kubey in G10. And comparing the two, the blade is slightly longer and the handle slightly longer. If I match these handles up on the back side here, it's quite a bit bigger knife. And this kubey Bravo 1, I consider this a large knife. Yeah, so this is a large knife. It's a big one. Yep. I wonder if that blade's sharp. Let me get my Bravo 1 out of here and back in my pocket. And let's see if this is sharp. Kind of threw me with the blade contact, man. Oh, such a disappointment. Yeah, crazy sharp. I am going to... Felt just slightly toothy, so, a couple of quick passes just to get any burrs that might be hanging around. And, hey, mostly I do this because I'm not sure that most manufacturers are stropping their knives. I think they run them through the sharpener, and if they're sharp, they let them go. When, man, just a little bit of strop could take them next level. And so, but I don't mind. I mean, I saw how sharp that was. That's plenty sharp for me. I'm not going to complain about Twosun or any knife manufacturer that sends a knife out as sharp as that one. Surely not going to say anything negative about it. What I'm going to say is that, yeah, it came out of the factory sharp. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hurt it by stropping it, that's for sure. But, ooh, is it sticky. Big, tall, flat ground blade. Wonderful. Big knife, sharp blade. Excellent ergonomics. A+ action. got a design manufacturing defect, in my opinion. You can make blade contact right here with the blade through the scales. Right there. But what a really nice piece. I really like this knife. It's a Ts485. I appreciate you watching. Price and availability. Okay, so this piece started out with some momentum when it dropped. I don't think I was the only one that visually thought this was a pretty interesting piece and probably something I would like. And the pricing on this was, up around $100 or more. The sixleaf seller currently has a buy it now price or best offer of like $119 for this knife. I think that's a little high with the 14C. And it is a large knife. Like I say, if this knife came 70% of this knife, I might even think that the 14C was worth over $100. I might, because I really, really, really like this knife. It's just it's a big one. I mean, I'm just telling you. So, there's currently live auctions on eBay. DWin99's running some live ones at the time of this video. And current pricing puts this thing $65 to $75. Speaking of that, White Mountain Knives currently has this in stock. And at the time of the video, I have to keep saying that because when you watch this video, they may not have any. So I don't want, don't come at me and go, well, you said they had them. Hey man, I obviously I can't control any of that, but, they have it for like $79. So use the discount code DM10. You can find it down below if you need to find it, but it's David Mary 10. Put that in the coupon code section in the cart. So you put the knife in the cart, go to the coupon section, put DM10 and apply, and it'll take 10% off this knife, which brings it down to about $72. So is that the absolute lowest price you could buy it? I mean, you may get it less for a live auction from DWin, but man, it's pretty close. And because here's the other thing. Let's say you pay $65 for it on eBay. Well, you got to pay tax on eBay. And so your tax rate, I don't know, it could be 10%. At 10%, that's another $6. Well, that puts you at $71. So you could buy this right now from White Mountain Knives for $72, free shipping, no tax. Come on. And you're not going to wait the traditional 3 to 5 weeks to get it. You order it from White Mountain Knives and you're in the continental U.S. I don't know if they ship outside the continental U.S. I don't have any of that info. But if you live in the continental U.S. and you buy it from White Mountain Knives, get the 10% off, free shipping, no tax, you're going to be at like $72, and you should have this at your door within 3 to 5 days. How about it? Most of the stuff I order from them nowadays, I get in about 3 days. Yeah, so, all right. Well, there's my hook. Are they paying me? If you go to White Mountain Knives and you use that code, they know that you're using my code. Do I get anything from it? Not one thing. Do they comp me knives? Not one knife. Do they give me a discount beyond that same code, DM10? Not one time. Yep. You would be paying exactly what I paid or would pay for this knife if I bought it from them. Yeah, so I only say that because sometimes, people feel weird about like, well, he's benefiting. I don't benefit one bit if you buy this from White Mountain Knives. I just know that it's a simple process, and I buy a lot of knives from them. I am a fan of White Mountain Knives. That's a fact. Yep. All right. Well, I don't know why I'm so chatty. Maybe I ate bad pizza. I don't know. Have me at hello. All right, you guys. Appreciate you watching.